Hey guys, how is my lovely audience doing on such a green and bullish day as today? AMC and GameStop both bounced back pretty strong today. AMC was on absolutely fire, and JPMorgan made a huge announcement that everyone absolutely needs to know. Funny enough, JPMorgan was caught by the SEC violating the law, and were consequently fined today, an absolute joke of a penalty. We are going to talk about all of this today. The media has been trying to demonize meme stock investors today, and we are going to expose all the lies on this video. Spider-Man is here, and it's breaking records left and right, proving once again that theaters are not going to die or phase out. Theaters are here to stay forever alongside live streaming. The recycled media FUD has once again been dispelled and proven wrong. Today has been an absolutely great day, and I am super content with everything going on. The community felt more alive than it has been since the last AMC earnings call, to be honest. Before we start, let me quickly state that I am not a financial advisor, and that all content discussed in this channel is simply information gathered that I deem important for people to know, so that they can make informed decisions. All efforts are aimed to better understand the nature of the current market in anticipation of the greatest squeeze in financial history. Let's get started. Let's begin with the big news, the ones that were somehow bigger than Spider-Man today. JPMorgan Chase made a public statement saying there will likely be a short squeeze rally into the year-end. They stated, and I quote, "For short-selling campaigns to succeed, there have to be positioning, liquidity and often systematic amplifiers of the sell-off, and we believe these conditions are not met, hence this market episode may end up in a short squeeze and cyclical rally into year-end and January." They also stated that even with all this, there is aggressive shorting, likely in the hope of a decline in retail equity position and cryptocurrency holdings, in which in both of these, markets and retail investors have shown resilience in the past couple of weeks. There are two ways I am looking at this statement, and both are almost impossible to prove at the moment. Before I share this with you, let me tell you that I strongly believe that JPMorgan is one of the major banking institutions caught shorting meme stocks and have had to resolve to using derivatives and other similar types of investment vehicle tactics to delay being forced to cover. So, as to my two takes on this. One is that JPMorgan knows that due to the extremely level of shorting that took place during the last couple of weeks, a lot of these shorters are going to get squeezed. They know that AMC and GME traded way beneath what they should have even amidst these bad market conditions, and an equal or similar opposite reaction is bound to take place, and as such is now trying going public, setting the narrative that a short squeeze will happen to confuse some investors if the prices go up so that they sell thinking that is the squeeze. Say AMC runs and breaks past 100 and GME goes back to 500, they will call it a squeeze, and with the help of the media, they will try to kill the rally by having people sell. This is what we could consider a fake squeeze. The other way I see this, which does not necessarily deviate from what we talked about, is that JPMorgan has taken a long position in GME and other meme stocks in anticipation of a rally so that they can secure some revenue on the run upwards so that they can have capital to short meme stocks. Stay absolutely woke during these times, because if we are to take these statements by JPMorgan, it would imply they and friends plan to let AMC and GME finally climb a bit, since they cannot longer maintain them at current positions, and will try to get retail to sell by collaborating with the news to call it and deem it a squeeze. The buy pressure these past couple of days has been insane. GameStop had a ratio of like 8 buy orders for each sell order. Do not fall for their traps, for JPMorgan is one of the most corrupt, vicious and fraudulent institutions in the entire world. For example, ironically enough, today the SEC announced that JPMorgan admitted to widespread record-keeping failures, and that they agreed to pay $125 million in penalty to resolve the SEC charges. I made a huge series talking about what these little agreements mean, but just to remind you, by agreeing to pay this little fine, they get avid being accountable, while simultaneously not being seen as guilty, which allows them to write off this $125 million fine as a business expense in their taxes. During 2020, JPMorgan made over $1.5 billion in overdraft fees. $125 million in nothing but a small business expense. The SEC is such a joke, as is the Department of Justice and all Congress people who write these pathetic laws. They legalized bribery by allowing political donations to be a thing, and now the rules and laws are bent to benefit the few. Best thing you can do as a citizen is to stop using these big banks and transfer over to a credit union. An important thing to remember is that we are not going to be the heroes of this journey. We will be defiled by the media, we will be mocked, and we will be blamed for causing whatever happens in the economy for choosing our own paths. Today, tons of news site and news channels were blaming poor market conditions and the enforcement of new policy because of apparent social media coordination. They even blamed the rapid growth of stable coins and financial innovations on the frenzy of GameStop investors. They cheated the system, broke it, and now intend on blame us for not playing along. Keep this in mind as we move forward. The only kryptonite for a psychopathic being is an ounce of accountability. The S&P have finally downgraded Evergrande to selective default. This means some of their bonds will not be used for collateral. Evergrande did not pay $82.5 million in interest and have now set the stage for massive default and debt restructuring. Funny how the media kept saying they had made payments on time and avoided default a couple weeks ago, and now they all simultaneously changed their minds and narratives, even when the proof was already there. Never ever trust these giant corporations, and always keep in mind that they are actually owned by hedge funds and other financial institutions. AMC to the freaking moon and beyond. The new Spider-Man movie drew in nearly 1.1 million people to the theaters in the United States, a record opening for a movie across the company for the month of December. Box office analysts are predicting the superhero spectacle will set a pandemic-era sales record this weekend, and I strongly think so as well. Attendance for Spider-Man at AMC's international theaters was also robust. It was the second highest growing movie title on its opening night of all time, falling just short of beating the Avengers Endgame, which came out in 2019. AMC CEO Adam Aron said Spider-Man indicated to them that consumers in large numbers desire the experience that only AMC theaters can provide, and that their amazing theater teams are prepared for the moment. Spider-Man is already a home run for Disney, Sony and AMC, and I cannot wait to see what their next quarterly earnings are going to be. I told you and keep telling you, do not sleep on AMC, because it will sleep on you if you don't catch this train here, nice and early. What a glorious way to end the week. Let's now talk about today. The Fed submitted over $1.704 trillion in reverse repo operations today. Dark pool trades for AMC accounted for 63% of the total volume today, while dark pool trades for GameStop accounted for 47% of the total volume today. AMC had a larger amount of buy orders than its sell orders, with GameStop also having a larger amount of buy orders than sell orders. Now, let's talk about performance. AMC traded bullishly, gaining over 4% for the day. AMC traded bearishly during the pre-market, falling beneath the after-hour prices where it was trading yesterday. AMC was able to stay trading around the VWAP. Upon market opening, AMC ran from beneath 24 all the way past 30. AMC would then experience a retracement that had it consolidating around 29, and then near the end of the day it fell again. AMC closed at 29.12, above the VWAP. As for what to expect next week, I will be making a video on Sunday as usual, talking about what is more probable to happen. GameStop traded bullishly, gaining over 7% for the day. It opened to a small dip that took it from 144.72 to 139.33. After reaching this low, GameStop bounced back up, running until reaching 158.57. Here it would retrace a bit, testing support at 154 before a small bounce that had it close at 155.64, above the VWAP. As for what to expect next week, like I said, I will be making a video on Sunday as usual, talking about what is more probable to happen. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a crazy good weekend. Let me know in the comments if you are doing anything fun and if you are going to go watch Spider-Man. Some of you have been asking me a lot about what I think about the housing market and what my thoughts are, since I guess some other YouTubers have started talking about it as well. If you don't know, I have been tons and tons of videos discussing the relationship between the current housing market crisis and the same institutions that are shorting AMC and GME. If you go over to the playlist section of this channel, you will find a playlist where all my videos regarding housing are. If you have questions about the SEC and why they don't punish criminal behavior, I have a playlist there explaining absolutely everything you need to know. If you want to know how Wall Street infiltrates government agencies, I have another set of videos for that too, I believe in the same category. I have made tons of series explaining every question you might have about why things are the way they are, so feel free to venture there if you seek to have insight into all that is going on. If you want to support this channel, I have a Patreon link in the description as well as some one-time donation links for Cash App and PayPal. Thank you again for being a part of this channel. I will continue striving for better content. Enjoy the rest of your day, have a fantastic weekend, go watch Spider-Man and scream when you see Toby. Let me know if you cried because I know I will, and to the moon.